What's up, guys? Um, all right, good morning, guys. Today is Tuesday, November 7th. As usual, going over analysis for US 30, gold and EU. So starting off with our daily bias. Daily bias for US 30 is bullish. Daily bias for gold is still bullish. However, you can see this daily candle might close below this daily sell SAR that was fired yesterday. So maybe beginning tomorrow, I'll start being bearish on US 30, but I need to let this candle close because if we start looking for sales right now, I mean, I've been waiting for sales, but you can see here for EU, what happened in this EU sell SAR. Price kept trying to close below the sell SAR. And if you caught some sales, maybe you made some profit, but you can see you would have still probably been burnt if you're looking for sales in the long term because that pump up continued because the previous closure was a bullish closure. So I'm still looking for buys today on gold. So starting off with US 30, what we have right now is give me 1 second. I need to make sure that these other systems are running. See. Okay. So here, US 30, this is a possible break and continuation for gold. I'm sorry, for US 30 based off of where it is. So, but we need this 15-minute candle to close. Personally, I've started upping my risk. So nowadays I'm risking, or starting yesterday, I'm risking 1% per trade. But for you guys, with the trades I'm calling, I'm still going to maintain that at 0.75. It's just been a goal for me to get to risking 1% per trade, but I'm giving myself a maximum drawdown per day of 2%. So if I lose 2 trades in a row, I'm done trading for the day. So here for if you guys remember, on gold, for the daily time frame, we are testing a daily buy momentum based off of where prices. So if you guys remember, I made a notice in this zone 1963.3. So that's a critical area for buys, right? 1963.2. That's a critical area for buys, right? I'd noted that. And if you guys remember during FOMC, I mentioned that that was my ideal buy area or my A plus setup for gold. So I'm trying to monitor that 1963.2. So I'll just put a marker in that zone here. But then ideally here, what I would want to do is go to the 1 minute time frame, and I need a buy momentum signal here. So I need a buy momentum signal here because that's where. So this, what happened? This, I wanted to buy this morning, but I don't trade before New York. So I try not to trade before New York session. And what I've anticipated, or what I've noticed, is that when price gets to these critical levels, they manipulate price. So they stop hunt people. So right now they're coming back to pick up liquidity at that zone. So, but I need this 1963 to be tested and a buy momentum to be given. But before then, let's see what we have on the 30-minute, on the 15-minute. On the 30-minute, there's no zone. On the 15-minute, there's no zone as well on gold. All the zones are down here. So down here, we had a 15-minute zone. We had some 30-minute zones. But based off of where price is right now, we can only probably get the momentum entry. The other one, EU. So EU has been dropping. I don't see anything, any entry for EU based off of where it is. I don't like extending charts too much, so I'm not really going to extend that, especially on the 15-minute time frame. Maybe on the 30, we can get something that was a little bit more recent. So on the 30-minute time frame, that's the 30-minute. Yeah, 30 minutes. Nothing that's more recent. So I'm not looking for, also looking at EU, trying to catch a buy is just terrible right now, right? EU likes respecting structure, Forex pairs in general. So there's this structure. In any case, I'll be looking to sell EU, but my daily bias is bullish. But this is what I would expect EU to do, come back all the way to 1.053. So there's really no need for me to even try looking for buys on EU at this moment. So right now, the only possible trade is US 30 and gold. So for gold, I need gold to touch this zone, and then I'll go to the 1 minute and find a 1 minute entry there. So right now, I'll just prepare my trade manager and make sure that it has the appropriate risk. So yeah, if I do get this gold trade, I'll also be taking it. See, we go to the hourly and 4-hour time frames. There's nothing for US 30. We have some zones down here. I think this is the hourly or 4-hour. Gold and EU, there's nothing on the hourly, nothing on the 4-hour as well. So now it's just a matter of waiting for this for these two entries. And given that I just give myself 2 trades a day, again, I want to be careful with the trades I'm taking, because I know if I lose 2 back-to-back trades, that's automatic 2% down. So I'm also I need to make sure that all the trades I'm taking, if I lose this, I know deep down that there's nothing I could have done to avoid that loss. It was just like a market move. So I need gold to touch 1963. Remember, that trade is based off of this daily momentum, this entry right here. So I need gold to come back down and touch that, and then I'll go down to the 1 minute time frame and get an entry. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so now that it's touched that buy momentum area that we'd identified way back even during FOMC last week, I'll go down to the 1 minute time frame. At this point, I need a momentum buy signal right now, a valid momentum buy. So what I would want gold to drop down to 1963, because remember, what's the momentum strategy? So I'm not buying on impulse, but what's the momentum strategy? Momentum strategy is simple, right? Three simple requirements. Signal candle shouldn't be the highest or lowest candle of a move. Either one of the previous 1 to 3 candles before the signal candle should have rejected off of an SAR. This can be a single SAR. And the last one is any time frame below the daily time frame. If you're looking for a buy, price should be above the moving average. If you're looking for a sell, price should be below the moving average. So at this point, I know the moving average filter is turned on. Save as moving average, momentum strategy, simple, save. So here, that's the buy area, but I need a buy signal. I'm just not going to hop in. But if anybody has any confluences for a buy, this is the perfect buying area. So what's happening here, they're manipulating, or they're trying to stop hunt people who know that the buy is coming. But keep in mind, gold has already formed a daily SAR sell for a sell. So tomorrow I'll probably be looking for sells on gold. But until then, until this daily candle closes, I am still bullish on gold, at least for the remaining 4 hours of the day, or 8 hours. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and ask. My bad. I have other systems that I'm working on, so sometimes you guys might see me multitasking. But feel free to ask any questions. But if I get a buy signal there, I'll be taking gold. gold buy with personally, I told you guys nowadays I'm risking, or starting yesterday, I'm risking 1% per trade. But for any official trade for you guys, it will be maximum of 0.75%. I don't want to you guys, but if you choose to do 1% like me, just know that send to front. Just know how to handle that. And also, right, I just told you guys, if I lose two back-to-back trades, whatever time of day it is, I am done for the day. No going back. So that's why I need to be careful also while risking 1% per trade. I need to make sure that the trades I'm taking really do make sense, and I'm not really like trading just for the sake of trading or FOMOing into trades. Here's another setup. So this is a that's US 30. Let's see where this closes. So this is a, what time is that? That's a 15-minute candle. The distance 65.50. Wait, 70. The SAR I'm trading is 15 pips away. No. So here for US 30, that's the entry. So this is possible break and continuation. But for me, the distance between the entry and the SAR, this is 15 pips. My stop loss on gold is 50 pips. So to me, that's a little, it's not too overextended, but I'm not taking it just yet. But what I'll do in order to avoid FOMO, because I'm not taking, it's a valid trade, but because I'm not taking it just yet, I need to mark up where somebody who's in the trade, who's now waiting for a retracement, will achieve a 1:1 risk to reward, so that I know that I forget waiting for it. So I'll wait for this trade right here and then go down to the 1 minute time frame. But if this trade gets to this zone first, it's a valid trade, the setup is valid. But if this trade gets to this area first before coming down here and giving me an entry on the 1 minute, I'll just forget about it. So those I've already, so if I'm taking US 30 and I'm taking gold, those are my two trades for the day. If I lose both of them, that's it for me trading. If I win both of them, I'll be up, because if I win with a 1%, that's 2 plus 2. I'll be up 4% for the day. So it's the same thing we've been doing. So changing my risk doesn't really affect the way I've been trading. It's the same trade logic, same trade setups, but right now I just have to be a little more cautious because I don't take as many trades in the day. So gold can keep dropping, that's fine. Keep in mind, I need these three conditions to be satisfied. So in US 30, this is exactly what I want, right? I want that retracement. And now on US 30, I can go down to the 1 minute time frame because my zone has already been tested. And at this point, I'm trading a live 1 minute SAR. So I go ahead and reduce my SARs here, and then just, so my zone has already been tested. So that has already, that retracement has already been satisfied. Now I need a live 1 minute SAR, and I will be looking to take that. So this is US 30. So until I get that live 1 minute SAR, US 30 can keep doing whatever. And at this point, I can delete this because the retracement has already happened. Price has come back to the SAR zone. So at this point, I don't care about this person achieving a 1:1 risk to reward, because in any case, at this point, they're in drawdown, and price has already retraced back. But for me, I'm waiting for that 1 minute confirmation. And gold can keep dropping. That's fine. We just need that one, a valid 1 minute buy momentum entry. Again, as we wait, if you guys have any questions, you can ask. So all these buys are invalid. All these buys that are printing on the screen, all of those buys are invalid buys. So this is invalid. It's the lowest candle of a retracement. This one was invalid. The previous candle had not rejected off of an SAR. So we need a valid buy. Also, remember, we do have those 30-minute and 15-minute zones right here on gold. So all these are double SAR, 15-minute or 30-minute zones. So if gold also wants to keep dropping, there are zones down there for gold. Also, I think in the news today, Powell is speaking, the chairman of the Fed. So just be cautious of that as well. Right. For gold, I'll go back to the other time frames. So looking at where gold is going. So again, I'll just wait for gold to get back to this 1963 area. But if you look at where it's possibly headed to, 1957, 1956, that's where we have those 15-minute and 30-minute zones. So looks like I like the US 30 uptrend. So if you look at US 30 on a 5-minute chart, if you look at US 30 on a 5-minute chart or 15-minute chart, you'll see that US 30 is creating higher highs and higher lows. So I like that uptrend on US 30, but we just need that 1-minute entry. Unless gold comes back to 1963, that's the only time I'll go back to the 1-minute time frame to catch that momentum signal. But if it wants to keep dropping, 1956, 1957 is a nice buying area for it. Let's see. Time does Powell speak? Or is it tomorrow? Maybe it's tomorrow that Powell is speaking. But we have, yeah, I think Powell is speaking tomorrow pre-market, if I remember that correctly. Yeah, 9:15 a.m. Yeah, so tomorrow market open should be a little volatile. But today we still have a lot of Fed members that are speaking, but of course none is as influential as Chairman Powell. So that's the point, right? So if you're on the 1 minute, that's the idea of waiting for validations, because if you took any of this buys right here, you'd be either in drawdown or getting stopped out. So that's why you have to just be patient until the trade lines up for you. Audrey, I don't know if you're checking that account. Those changes went well.
Yeah.
I didn't increase the lot size too much though. I
Saw that.
just, yeah, I didn't want
I
to.
got a meeting soon.
Uh, just close it. We need volume to create that by SAR. So this is the entry. This was an entry based off of this break and continuation right here, but trade was overextended. So I don't know if anybody took the initial setup, whether it was overextended or not, but for me, still waiting for that live 1-minute entry. And I would rather it be given anywhere from here because they're trying to break this high. I would want this candle to give that 1-minute live SAR. Yeah, so nothing yet here. All this buys right here invalid. So 1963.3, that's the momentum buy, because that was the last, actually not the last, but before this buy right here, which is also a valid buy on the daily buy momentum. This here is the previous one from last week. That was the critical area for buys where the buyers stepped in. So I think right now they're just squeezing out folks. But right now, even on the 1 minute, nothing. So at this point, the only other place would get a rejection of an SAR is if price goes up here in the 1962-63 range, which is good, or price goes back here at 1958 range. But until then, nothing. Yeah. So the issue with low liquidity markets or low volatile markets, it does take a while for a live SAR to be printed, even on the 1 minute time frame. Because you can see here, due to this low liquidity, we haven't yet had a live SAR. But so that's, you guys can see it's called what, opportunity cost. So same thing, and we've seen it on the live trade or on the live sessions. That was the setup right there. For me, I just choose to be safe, but for anybody who took the trade upon validation, you're coming up to probably a 1:1 risk to reward. But for somebody who chose to be safe like me, you can see I still haven't been given that entry. So always weigh those two. So for anybody who took the trade upon validation, you'd be approaching a 1:1. But for somebody like me who waited for a retracement, we still haven't been given that 1 minute entry yet. So that's just called opportunity cost. So no strategy, whether it's waiting for a retracement, whether it's taking upon validation, sometimes you'll get either of them winning. But in my experience, waiting for a retracement has overall more wins than getting in on an overextended entry. So I just want to see how long it takes to get that 1 minute entry for me. But based off of how it's pushing up, I may just wait for the gold trade. I need to stop this. Okay, so here we need to, so remember those three rules. So all these buys again, invalid buys. But if we get a buy around this zone, 1962, because remember, this blue line marks up that daily momentum entry. So when price gets to 1963, you're probably going to see a huge spike up to the upside. So that's what I'm trying to catch. So what I would want here is for price to break back down below this live SARs. And keep in mind, this is the momentum strategy. This is not the SAR strategy. But if you remember, we have those three requirements for the momentum strategy where you need a candle rejecting off of an SAR. So I would want price to come back down, break below these SARs, because what that will do, it will lead to price going back down to the moving average. And then when price goes back up the moving average, so keep in mind, for me, I've just turned on the moving average, but I know how the logic of the indicator, but you can trade using the moving average in order to see how those signals are filtered. So you can see right now price is below the moving average. So that's exactly what I want, because when price now breaks above the moving average, it will give a buy momentum, because remember here, I have the moving average filter on. So any signals I'm getting are based off of the moving average. So this is exactly what gold is doing. That's what I wanted to keep doing. But since I try to minimize the indicators on my chart, I just turn off the moving average filter or the moving average line. So here we just need volatility for this, but price, I would want US30 to come back down and then spike back up and create that live SAR. All right, so I need gold to come back down. I need a buy signal, but it has to be a valid buy signal. Hopefully I don't miss it. So keep in mind, same thing, you don't have to wait for me. The best I can always do is to tell you guys what direction something is going to go. But whether you decide to take a trade either with me or without me, so it doesn't mean that, you know, my trade is the optimal trade or whatever, because I still lose, but you can still take trades on your own. The best I can do is to give you the direction that price is probably going to head to. So I know US30 is coming back down, so that's what I want. I need gold to give a buy signal anywhere here, a valid buy signal. And look at, you see that 1963, how price has spiked up. So I'm just hoping not to get too left behind with this, because it's exactly where I need it to be. I was hoping to get that buy at the, you know, at some of these lows, but just trying my best to stick to the rules and strategies. So US30 is coming back down. We need volatility to give us a live 1 minute SAR. Also, if it's around this zone, this means this is also, this might be a 15-minute zone. So still waiting on that. Man, I don't think yeah, that's it for me on gold. Mists, I was hoping we get it here. Also, same thing, right? That's another caveat of using the filters. Because I know if I take off the moving average filter, you'll probably see some buys here, right? Like for example, this one. But you know, I don't encourage you guys to break the rules just to try and get a trade. If a strategy says do this or stick to these rules, there's a reason for that. So as much as at this point, I don't think unless gold comes back down and retraces off of this. So keep in mind, when gold was here, I talked about they're probably coming to squeeze, stop hunt people, so that manipulation phase or Judas swing, and then they come back up. If gold touches 1963, you'd see a spike up, which is what's happening. So at this point, I think US 30 might be my best bet. But if gold does decide to come to 1963 and retrace, that's fine by me as well. If it doesn't, then it is what it is. I can still try and find trades later on in the day. So keep in mind, for me nowadays, or starting yesterday, I give myself a max of 2 trades a day, with each trade risking 1%. So I really don't want to just jump into random trades, lest I mess up and then lose my 2 chances. Okay, so there goes that 1 minute entry. Question is, do we have enough momentum? All right, so I'll take this trade. So for you guys, I'll count 0.75% risk, but for me, I told you guys I'm risking 1%. So this is 1 out of my 2 trades for the day. So I need that to close, and close. I need to see where it closes. And I'm in the trade right now. So if it wins, I'll count it with a 0.75 risk. If it loses, I'll count it with a 0.5% risk. But for me, I'm risking 1% of my account. Okay, so since I'm already in it, I'll go back to the 15-minute because this trade was based off of a 15-minute setup. And this was the setup it was based off of down here. Also, we are probably going to get a break and continuation up here. I think that's a 15-minute zone, if I'm not wrong. Maybe it's a 30-minute, but I have to extend my SARs first. Yeah, so that's a 15-minute zone. We actually have two zones here. Based off of our price has been moving, we've just been having too many zones that are close together. I'm trying to find a way so that, let's see, 34, 122, 119. All right. All right, gold came back down. Now I need that buy signal to come on gold anytime from here. So I'm in that US 30 buy. I'm looking for a buy signal on gold as well. And those will be my two trades for the day. If I lose, if both of them hit stop loss, that is it, done for the day. If both of them win, I'll be up like 4% for the day. So that's just the logic of that. So here we have a new possible break and continuation also of this. So we have two zones. So nowadays what I'm doing, if these zones are overlapping or next to each other, I just delete the less optimal one. So this would be break and continuation buy. So since we have two here, I really don't need the bigger one. So the smaller one, the more optimal one is better. And since here looks like we also have two right here, at this point I would delete that and mark up the optimal one, which would be that and that. So that just avoids overcrowding and overshadowing of zones. All right, so I need now gold to give me that buy momentum. Okay, this, if it gives that, that's invalid. So remember those three rules. It shouldn't be the lowest candle. Momentum strategy is simple, so it shouldn't be the lowest candle. So if it's given from this candle, I'm not taking that. Again, that would be the lowest candle. I need it not to be the lowest candle of this retracement. So I'll just watch gold since I have US 30 on my other chart here. Okay, so this wouldn't be the lowest candle. However, the previous 1 to 3 candles, so this rejected off of an SAR. Okay, So either of the previous 1 to 3 candles before the signal candle should have rejected off of an SAR. So the previous one, immediate previous one, did not. This one did. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if you guys do buy gold, use 0.375% risk. That's what I will count. And I'm actually in the trade. I hopped on prematurely. I thought the candle closed, but I'm in that trade right there. So if you guys hop in, use 0.375% risk. Again, for me, I didn't use that. I'm using 1%. The reason for that, for you guys, if you do the same idea, if you do take 2 back-to-back losses with me, I don't want it to be anything more than 1.5%. So 0.75 plus 0.375 is 1.125. So whatever risk you do decide to enter in on, if it's against what I tell you guys, if you lose, you might have a bigger loss than I record. So unless you know what you're doing, or unless you're disciplined, like for me, literally, if I lose both of these trades, I am done for the day. I'm not going to come back in the charts. But there are people, if they lose a trade, they want to keep, or they may want to keep trading for the day. So it just also depends on where you are psychologically as a trader. But anyway, so this gold buy is based off of this daily momentum buy right here, this level, because this is the last area, critical area where buyers stepped into the market on Wednesday, October 25th. So that gold buy is based off of a daily momentum. So right now, if we hit 63, we should start spiking up. That's exactly what I wanted to catch. So you can see this whole move up here, as much as during this move up here, gold did not give me an entry, you can see it came back and tapped me in. So never really feel FOMO, so long as you understand the strategies. Price should come back and tap you in. So I'm just needing to get to that 1:1 risk to reward. So at this point, we need to do where is a 1:1 risk to reward. So probably there. So if gold gets to this zone, you go ahead and set break even. So hopefully we do get there. Same thing for US 30. Go ahead and set that 1:1 based off of where we entered. So what we would expect is for price to come back up if our analysis is right. And that would be the area for a 1:1 risk to reward, which is the area we would be setting break even at. Man, there's no volume in the market today. Right, so I think US 30 is coming back too into profit. So you can see barely any volume in the markets, which is expected for Fed week. So you can see we have like a bunch of Fed members speaking. Tomorrow we have tomorrow we have Fed Chair Powell speaking, so markets are just slow. Come on. Okay, there we go. Finally getting. So I like this gold one because we know we have buyers sitting here, right? We are riding on the daily momentum. So that is for US 30, unless we do have something like an order block here. Oh, we have a daily bearish high there. We do have sellers there. Anyway, that is, I'm not trading the order block. I'm trading something separate from that. But gold, I do know we have that daily momentum there. List off of the markups. There is nothing. We have a 15-minute order blocks. I don't really care for them. Turning on the zones, of course, it's the 1 minute. It's not going to show me anything, but if I turn them on in the 15-minute, yeah, I like the gold move better. There it goes. You just need to get to that 1:1 risk to reward. So US 30, that daily bearish high. If I turn off the SARs, that daily bearish high is the one that was holding the Dow down. This daily bearish high. And we do have sellers there. But also given that what kind of week it is, you do expect some manipulation against probably the order block. So I just need to get to a 1:1 risk to reward for these two trades, which we should hopefully get. So. Then my profit on gold was more than US 30, and now my US 30 profit is more than gold. This is fun. Nice. Gold is coming back up too. So both of my positions are up 2,500. So if both of these trades for me hit full TP, I'll be up like 8K on that, right? I think. Yeah. Because each trade I'm risking 2% going for a 1:2. So if I win one trade, I'm up 4K. If I win the other trade, I'm up 4K. So that would be an 8K day. So it is high risk. But if you're trying to do like 1% risk per trade like me, just know you can't be trading like more than 2 trades a day. Because if you lose 2 trades in one day, that will be down 2%. And if you go back into the market and keep risking 1%, you can see you can easily get close to the max drawdown. So for me, the 1%, risking 1% per trade is just something I've been working on for the last 2 or 3 months. Because if you guys remember, we used to risk like what, when we started this group, 0.25% per trade. Then I went to 0.5. And then over the last month, I did 0.75. So it's just an idea, right? Like looking at this percentages that we are doing per month, by increasing my risk, I'm not really doing anything different than I did in October or September. I'm using the same strategies, but right, just now risking a little bit more. But because I'm also risking a little bit more, okay, I'm up 2K on US30, so that's a 1:1 risk to reward. So go ahead and set break even on US30. So for my US30 trade, I will set break even, move stop loss to break even. So if you guys want to secure profits, feel free to secure profits here. Feel free to secure, but for me, I'm going to keep holding. So at this point, US30 for me is either full TP or break even. Of course, I'm hoping for full TP. Gold is still playing around, but I do expect a spike in gold any moment from now, because as you can see here as well, we are forming higher highs, higher lows, and we're in an uptrend. So they're just building that momentum from this daily momentum area, and hopefully that should spike price up in our direction. So at this point, we've already achieved a 1:1, so we don't care for this 1:1 markup for now, so we can delete this blue arrow. But if you took the original one or upon validation, you should be at full TP right here. Unfortunately for people like me, we got delayed with that low volatility in the market. But if you took the original trade, you just hit, or when the trade validated, you just hit full TP. Also on gold, I don't think for gold there was any other, I don't remember any other validation down here, unless you took it from those buys at the very low that were invalid. But yeah. It's taking forever. What time is it? 10:36. Oh, there's another trade that's running, right? So we have this 15-minute zone, break and continuation, but of course the continuation candle validated. So this was the other one. So this moved from possible break and continuation to an outright break and continuation. Of course, the entry would have been here, but overextended. So for somebody looking to take this trade, you'd first need to know the area somebody who entered the trade, regardless of overextension, would achieve a 1:1 risk to reward before waiting for a retracement. Of course, right now I wouldn't want to get a retracement because I would get stopped out at break even. But that's the setup right there. So, but of course, since I'm in this buy, I do not want a retracement. Huh, interesting. One, two, three. All right. In the meantime, let's see what other momentum entries are there or to keep an eye out for in the future. So if you guys see here on the daily time frame on gold, this was the last valid sell on gold. Remember, on gold on the daily time frame, we don't care if price is above or below the moving average, but this does satisfy the other requirements. The previous 1 to 3 candles should have rejected off of an SAR. This wasn't the signal candle is not the lowest candle of the move. And you can see here, 1993.2, that's a critical. And you can see I've already put an alert there. So when price ever gets there, I remember to put or to look for a daily momentum sell. Also, if you guys can remember the other day, I marked this up. So what pattern is this right here? So left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So gold is possibly coming back down, and you can see to substantiate that, we just had the sell momentum or sell SAR forming yesterday. So even for me, beginning tomorrow, if this, I just need this to hit TP. I don't care about this sell SAR just as of yet, but beginning tomorrow, I'll start being bearish on gold. But here on this high time frame, you can see we have a head and shoulder pattern for gold. So last sell, the buy we are riding was based off of this buy momentum again here, which was a valid buy. Then the next valid buy on the daily time frame is this one right here. At one point, actually, I need to put an alert for that one as well. So at 1979.4 I'll call it 0.3. Add an alert here. So this is daily buy momentum. So that's the last valid buy momentum on gold. Then I go down to the 4-hour time frame. Move down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame. I really don't look for too many. I do see this one at the top here was a valid buy on the 4-hour at 1989, but that's I already have daily momentums before then. Right here, the sell, nothing for the 4-hour. The 1 hour. Again, you don't want to look for too many entries, right? You don't want to feel like you're forcing a setup. And so long as you have like a daily markup, that should override even lower time frame markup. So since we already have a daily buy and sell areas for gold using the momentum strategy, there's really no need to push it on lower time frames. For US 30, US 30 on the daily, here we do have a daily bullish low using the order blocks. This is the lowest candle, so automatically this is invalid, even though it closes. This sell right here was invalid because there was no rejection off of an SAR, but this was a nice, where US 30 is right here, this is a nice selling area, but I would have wanted one of these two candles, especially this candle, to have rejected off of the SAR, but this would be a nice selling area for US 30. But unfortunately, all of those entries are invalidated. When we go to the 4 hour for both buys and sells, nothing on the sell area. For the buys, nothing on the buy. Price is reject. If you extend this one, still would be invalid. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, still would be invalid. When you go to the 1 hour, 1 hour, nothing really on the 1 hour. Yeah, I would have wanted to see a rejection off of this SAR, but that did not happen. For sales on the 1 hour, these are valid sales right here. No, I'm sorry. When we go down to the 1 hour time frame, to anything below the daily time frame, we need to apply the moving average filter. So here, the moving average filter should take off all those cells. Yeah, so there's no valid cell right there. Euro USD. 1 hour time frame, nothing for buys, nothing for sells. 4 hour time frame. All these buys are invalid. All these sells are invalid. On the daily time frame. Yeah, this is a valid buy right here. So EU has to come back all the way to 1.0568. That's where we have the last valid buy momentum. Also, this is another valid buy momentum. There's one right here below that, 1.053. On the sell front, this sell is invalid. Highest candle, invalid. Yeah. So nothing really. So looks like gold is coming back down. Worst case scenario, best case scenario, both trades hit full TP. Best to worst case scenario, US 30 hits full TP, and we did 0.75 risk with that. So if that hits full TP, that would be 1.5% gain. If gold hits stop loss, we risked, I told you guys to risk 0.375. So if you took both trades and US 30 hits and gold hit stop loss, you'd still be up for the day like 0.8 or 0.9%. So we just need US 30. Ideally, I would want both of them, of course, to hit full TP. But if one of them is to hit stop loss, then US 30 is close to take profit than gold. I guess the other worst case scenario is US 30 hits break even and gold hits stop loss, which would just be down 0.375 for the day. Or if you're like me, risking 1% per trade, I'd just be down 1% for the day. And that leaves me a leeway of taking one more trade during the day. Yeah, but anyway, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I don't see any need of staying on the live session because we're already in 2 trades. I'm not looking to take any other trade. So just monitor this. For me, US 30, it's either going to hit TP or break even for me. I'm not closing. I haven't taken any partials. Gold is either at this point either going to be stop loss, break even, or take profit. whatever the result is, right? Even though both trades win, I'll count the risk that I told you guys 0.75 or 0.375. Even though for me, if both trades hit, I'll be up for the day 4%. But just monitor the trades. If you feel uncomfortable with both of the trades, gold is literally at break even. US 30, you should be up like 0.8, 0.9%. So if you just want to close both trades out, if you don't feel comfortable again, but for me, I've told you guys I'm not closing early. It's either going to be take profit, stop loss, or break even for both. Let me know if you guys have any final questions. And just as I want to leave, that's when US 30 starts moving. Let me know if you guys have any final questions. If not, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. All right. Let me see if this is going to hit before we leave. So right now I'm up 3K for both trades. Gold is back up. So let's see if we can catch this ride. Nice, nice, nice. Come on, pump. Hopefully I haven't been muted or whatever. And if you guys remember using my forecasts, so I did say, right, based off of historical data, US 30 creates an all-time high towards the end of the year and creates a yearly high. So we have what? We have probably 40 days left in the trading year. So is it possible for US 30 to break this all-time high? Yes. So that was still my anticipation, regardless of the war and everything, that ideally indices should go down. Using, this backtesting data for the last 10 years, not every year, but out of, I think, eight out of the last 10 years, US 30 creates or ends the year in a bull run. So that was also my anticipation. And we started talking about this like when I think I did this research in August, because I think we caught this sell from the top here. Yeah, I did this research in July and August. So I went back for the last 10 years and came up with patterns, came up with the mid-range. So like going forward, even next year, I know when to expect the dip in US 30 and when to expect the recovery. So I think there was only 2 years out of the last 10 years that price didn't play out that way. One of the years was COVID year 2020. And I think the other year was 2018 maybe or 2017. No, 2018, because you see 2018 price actually ended the year using with a new yearly low and did not break the all-time high that had been created. So yeah, 2018, but every other year you can see ending the year in a bull run. So not always like a new all-time high, but like towards like a yearly high. I want to see if this hits. Okay, so this has already achieved a 1:1. This break and continuation force. So for anybody waiting for a retracement down here at this point, you just go ahead and delete it because the person who took the trade without caring about overextension is already at a 1:1 risk to reward. So this person who would have taken that trade, they would be at a break even right now. So there is no need to wait for any retracement to this zone. If price does come back down here, you would have to wait for a new setup, either a break and continuation or a test and rejection. Gold is also pushing up. I'm hoping to, if one of this hits TP, that's when I'll end the session because US 30, we're so close to hitting full TP. So I don't want to leave just yet. And they keep playing too much. Yes. All right. Yeah, no, it's every time I want to leave, that's when they start pushing price. And then when I come back, price literally, we are what? How many pips away from TP? 20 pips away from TP. Go. Mm, Mm. All right, so we're having a rejection here on US 30. Looks to be some sort of heavy rejection. I know it's almost 11, so it might just be an hourly change up of volume. Mm, mm, mm. Well, it could be a break and retest of the Monday high and Friday high, because here we do have previous daily high, which was Monday's high or Friday's high. So I don't see anything that would bring price down heavily from here after that movement. So I think it's just like an hourly change up thing. Interesting. All right, so I think gold is going back up. Gold is pumping up. US 30 is doing some little retracement. Yeah, at this point, given this retracement, because if I keep hanging around, this will probably, if it does swing back to the upside, it will probably take like 30 minutes or something. Yeah, so this point, done for today. So with both positions, I'm just up 2,800 bucks. But the market is just moving so slow. So I don't see any need of holding you guys back to be on the live session just to watch this slow market movements. So I'll just observe the positions. Whatever the outcome is, I'll send the results in the Discord. So hopefully if you're in the trades with me, just make sure. So US30, I'm at break even. Gold, I'm not at break even yet. So the break even point for me on gold is 1965.5. So if gold does reach 1965.5, personally, I'll be setting break even. And I would advise you to do the same if you're still holding the buy with me. Other than that, unless there's any final questions, I will catch you guys in the live session or during the live session tomorrow. All right, guys. Peace.